Yo, what's up, guys? We're back with another video today, and obviously last night, guys, we had UFC Fight Night, Mackenzie Dern versus Rebus, the first UFC event of this year, so I watched that last night and all that stuff. It was actually a pretty decent card. Roman Kopylov and Chris Kurz was obviously the highlight. That was actually a banger fight right there, guys. But I didn't really think it was worthy to make a video, like analyzing the whole card, but that's not the point. That's not why we're here, guys. What we are here to talk about is UFC fighters that have just disappeared from the roster. Like, where did they go? What happened? I have no clue. And I'm only going to be referring to guys in the rankings, so obviously no one that's like unranked, because there'd be a lot more people, right? And listen, I know that these guys are injured, right? Most of these guys I'm about to say are either injured or whatever, but if I were to just include fighters that aren't injured, there'd be like 2 people on here. So without further ado, let's get into them. Alright, now the first person we have, guys, is Kamaru Usman. Where did this guy go, honestly? Like, because Kamaru Usman is like the second greatest welterweight of all time. His last fight was back in 2023, and he hasn't fought since like 2024. He didn't fight at all last year. So I'm like, where is this dude, honestly? This guy went on a crazy title reign. We all know this. Like, his title reign was really exciting. He then loses to Leon Edwards. He then loses to him again, and then loses to Khamzat Chimaev, although it is on two-week notice. So I can't really discredit Kamaru Usman losing to Khamzat on a 2 weeks notice. It's Khamzat, and we all know how good Khamzat is. And then he just doesn't fight in 2024. I know he has said he has injury problems. He's been saying that throughout the whole year of 2024, and even now still, because like a couple weeks ago, I think it was like last week, he said on his podcast, when I'm fully healthy and all that stuff, yada, he's gonna go over and take over the division. He's gonna dominate them. Pause. But like, when is he coming back? Because I genuinely don't know when he's gonna come back. I don't think anyone does besides himself. I just think he's wasting his years away, like teasing for a return when he doesn't have enough time. Like, he's almost 38 years old. If he wants the belt and if he wants to become a champion again, he's gotta fight soon. Like, I think Kamaru Usman, even though he's on a 3-fight losing streak, I still think that if he gets at least 1 win back on the winning column, that's enough for him to get a title shot. And look, I'm not saying he would beat Belal Muhammad currently, but I do think he has a very good chance at doing it. I like Belal Muhammad, but I think it's very close still. Alright, now the second person we have is Jack Hermanson. With Jack Hermanson, guys, it's so funny because he beats up Joe Pyfer, which a lot of people don't like him. Fair enough, I like Joe Pyfer. And then he just disappears. Like, Jack Hermanson beats up Joe Pyfer and just disappears. I don't know why he does this. It's very funny. But, like, when's he returning, honestly? And it's not like, I don't think people care about Jack Hermanson that much, which is why nobody's like, yo, where's this guy? Because his last fight was in February, which is, like, very close. We're about to head to that's going to be, like, a full year in a couple of weeks, I'd say. So, like, when is he returning? I really don't know. I actually have no clue when this guy is returning. He's had no teasers, no rumors, no fight announcements, no cancellations. Literally, there's nothing. After his fight with Joe Pyfer, he just disappeared off the face of the earth, guys. I'm genuinely not joking. After he wins, he's gone. Just gone. Like, at least other fighters will, like, make posts or anything. I don't even think he has an Instagram or any social media. But yeah, like, where's this guy, honestly? I genuinely have no clue. He needs to fight in order to make money, because, like, he's not a big name or anything. So, like, where is he? Genuinely. Alright, now the next person we have is Nikita Krylov. With Nikita Krylov, guys, I don't really know what's going on with him. I have a weird conspiracy theory, right, guys? Put your tinfoil hats on. Here comes the conspiracy idea. He can't fight much because he's in Ukraine, because of what's going on in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. I'm not gonna get into all that, guys, stuff. That's not my place. I'm just an MMA YouTuber with, like, what, like 40 subscribers, basically. That's not my place or anything like that. But the one thing I remember at the start was, like, men can't leave the country or anything like that. I know Usyk has an exception to that because, like, he's the heavyweight champion, but, like, I don't think they gave that to Nikita Krylov or something like that. Maybe they did. I have absolutely no clue. But, like, when's this guy returning? Now, I will say, he was supposed to fight at UFC 310, like, the last pay-per-view of last year, against a guy that you're going to see very shortly on this list. But his opponent pulled out, I believe. I think it was him who pulled out. and no fight news or anything like that. So I don't understand what's gonna happen. I have no clue what's gonna happen to this guy, and he's really good actually. Like his last loss, I think in recent years was against Magomed Ankalaev, which has aged decently well because Ankalaev's about to fight for the title, but at the same time Ankalaev is terrible. But yeah, so the point is, where's Nikita Krylov? I really think it has something to do with Ukraine, guys. I really do. Next person we have is Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori, guys, I actually really like Marvin Vettori. He's very funny. I think he's on some sort of spectrum or something like that. I might be just completely wrong. It's kind of funny just how he acts at press conferences and at weigh-ins and all that stuff. And I like his fight style. Like, I know it's not like the craziest, but I just like Marvin Vettori. And also, he's got like, I think, arguably, guys, he has one of the most underrated tattoos. Like, just look at the tattoo on his arm and on his chest. Doesn't it just look cool or something? Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? Like, I feel like no one appreciates that about him. But yeah, about Marvin Vettori fights. His last fight was against Jared Cannonier back in June of 2023. I think it was June. And he hasn't fought since. Now, I know at the same time, he was supposed to fight at June last year against Brennan Allen, but obviously he pulled out because of an injury, so that obviously didn't happen. And I think he said it was like a bad one, so he's gonna be out for a while. So I have no clue when this guy's returning. If I had to make a guess, I'm gonna say he returns back around June again, because it sounded like he had a nasty injury, and it's gonna take a while, so hopefully he feels better. I would like to see him fight. I've seen like one fight of his, so hopefully he returns soon, because, you know, it's funny to watch Marvin Vettori just go crazy and all that. But yeah. Alright, now the next person we have is Ammar Emezi. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to say his name, guys. I give up. But with this guy, Ammar, I don't know what's going on with his career, honestly. He's wasting his career. That's really what I see of it. He fights once a year now, and they're against guys who aren't really that good. I know it's not necessarily his fault, that's UFC matchmaking and all that stuff. And I know he was supposed to fight Nikita Krylov, but Nikita Krylov, or I think Ammar pulled out. I really have no clue who was the one who pulled out, guys. I really have no clue. And now Ammar literally, he's gone suspended for around 6 months, which is just really bad, and it's just really, he's just ruining his career. He's almost 36 years old, so he's running out of time. If he wants to fight, he's got to fight soon, and he's got to fight good competition, you know? And the thing is also, he's actually pretty decent. Like, he's not like championship material. He's not being Pereira. He's not being Yuri Prochazka, Magomed. He's not even being Jamal Hill, guys. But he's actually pretty decent. Like, I feel like he could hold his own maybe in like the top 7 or top 5, maybe around that. But he would get knocked out against Alex Pereira in like the first round. Dominic Cruz, guys. Now, with Dominic Cruz, this is a little bit, you know, because Dominic Cruz, he does have a fight news, so this kind of makes no sense. But like, I feel like his whole career is just the fact that he fights and then he just disappears for a couple years, and then he fights again and he just disappears. He's done that multiple times. Like, he was the champion in UFC, and then when he lost to when he lost the belt, he then came back a couple years later to fight TJ Dillashaw, and he beats him. And then he loses to Cody Garbrandt, and then he disappears for 4 years, which is about injury, so I can't blame him. And then he comes back for the title, loses, and then he comes back again to fight some ranked opponents, and then he gets KO'd by Chito Vera, and he hasn't fought since then. Like, that last fight against Chito Vera was back in like 2022, guys. So I have no clue when he's gonna be. It's rough for TJ. I feel bad for him, because with Dominic Cruz, right? He's had a lot of injuries throughout his whole career. It's been terrible for him. Honestly, if he didn't have the injuries like he's had, he arguably could have become like the definitive bantamweight GOAT. There's a lot of debate between who's the bantamweight GOAT. Some people say it's Aljamain, some people say it's TJ, some people say it's Dominic. Personally, I think Dominic Cruz is the greatest bantamweight of all time. If you have wins over like TJ Dillashaw, Uriah Faber, you know, guys like that who were elite back in the day, I personally think you're the GOAT at bantamweight, to be honest. And I feel like if he didn't have the injuries like he did, he would have like definitively been the bantamweight GOAT. But that's just my opinion. And I also hope he wins against Rob Font, because it's gonna be his last fight, so it would just be a great way to end off his career with all the injuries and all the layoffs and all that stuff, to just get like one final win in his career after having so many injuries like plaguing his career. So it would be great just to see him get this last win. But I couldn't forget this guy, Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is like, it's actually so hilarious. Like, this is similar to like Jack Hermanson. He knocks out Bryce Mitchell. He sends him to the canvas like out cold. The dude's spazzing out like he's like having a seizure. And it's arguably, in my opinion, it's knockout of the year. It was knockout of the year for that year, guys. And then he just doesn't fight for like the entirety of 2024. And I'm pretty sure he didn't have like any injuries. I could be wrong, guys. Let me know in the comments if I'm correct on that. But yeah, he just doesn't fight. He didn't fight at all in 2024 when there were clearly available fights for him. I really have no clue what's going on with Josh Emmett. He's wasting his career. This is worse than like the Dagesanian guy I was talking about before, because Josh Emmett is literally like almost 4 years old. He needs to fight now. I don't understand what's going on with him. Honestly, it's actually so annoying. Like, I think he might fight like Arnold Allen or something like that, since now Yair Rodriguez is reportedly fighting Diego Lopez. So, which honestly, Josh Emmett versus Arnold Allen would actually be a low-key of a banger fight. But yeah, Josh Emmett, come back, please. Return. I want to see some of your fights. I want to see you either knock someone out or you get 50-45 again. You know? But guys, that is me covering some of the biggest names for UFC fighters that have just disappeared from the roster and are just inactive. Let me know what you guys have for inactive fighters currently. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!